So today I'm here with Mr. A.K. Babers, real estate agent, investor, beer fanatic, taking me some great breweries.
Craft beer.
Yeah?
Yeah, craft beer.
Craft beer, thank you for clarifying. Glad to have you on today, man. So we've been working together for about 3 months already. And you know, we had a conversation the other day and you mentioned that strategy was kind of the most impactful part of working together. So can you tell me kind of what is strategy? Unfortunately, that's kind of a buzzword now that everybody says, but like, yo, what does it actually mean? So can you talk about what strategy looks like in your business and kind of how you define it?
It's definitely a buzzword now because coaching is a buzzword, right? You know what I mean? So a lot of people making money off coaching, including myself. But strategy is pretty much like it is, you know what I mean? You break it down, you think about a team, so you got plays and stuff. So before the game, you sit down, you think of a game strategy, you think about how you're going to attack this era to get to the goal line.
Right.
How you going to attack this problem. So in my past life as a project manager, strategy was very important. So strategy is pretty much sitting down with a well thought out plan of action on what to do to tackle a certain situation. You know what I mean? So strategy has been pretty valuable for me because I was able to sit down and specialize in a certain area. And one of the things when you and I first met, I was able to sit down with you, and it's kind of almost I told you this before, I almost feel like I was in Hollywood, I was a Hollywood actor, you my PR manager. So what do you like to do? You know what I mean? So this is what you like to do. What is your business like? You broke down and helped me identify what are my 4 pillars that I should be talking about when I talk about content.
Right.
And that helps me stay focused on it, helps me connect with my audience better, helps me save money, get direct to the problem and not go fishing around till I figure out where I want to go.
Yeah, I love that sports analogy, right?
Yep.
Because that is your strategy, it's your playbook, it's your action steps that you're taking to get where you want to go. If you don't know where you're going, if you don't know where your goal is, you don't know what your value proposition is, or you don't know what you're good at, you can't develop a great strategy, right? If you're a football team and you got a bunch of great running backs and no receivers, and you have a strategy where you're going to throw the ball a lot, it's not going to work out. So you got to get a strategy to use what you have, what's already good, right? So I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is they try to get strategy from YouTube and free resources or doing what other people are doing, and they don't lean into their own unique strengths and talents, right? And so I think that's where coaching and getting someone to help you with strategy, I think, goes a long way because you get to find out, hey, here's what I'm good at, and here's my unique strategy.
Strategy is important, and as a coach with my agents, and what I see is a lot of times there's no strategy. So they spend a lot of time out here just floundering around trying to figure out what they really want to do. They haven't determined who their target audience is, who their niche is, who their lane is. They can't figure out a brand. They can't even figure out a brand color because they don't have any strategy. They try to make everything pretty instead of attacking the problem. Mike, another buzzword I hear a lot that's thrown around is value. You know what I mean? A lot of people say provide value, bring value, and then they ask, what is value? So to you, what is value in your content?
You know, the reason I think value is vague is because your value really is dependent on who you're talking to, who your audience is, right? So that's why whenever all these social media gurus and coaches were always like, bring value, and people kind of really struggle to implement that effectively, a lot of times because they don't understand their own value and they don't understand who their audience is, right? So example that I think is in the real estate industry, the market sets the value of a home, right? You put a home on the market, you kind of have an assumption of what you think it's worth, and the market tells you how valuable it is, right? I was selling my duplex, we listed it for a certain price, and we got certain offers at a certain price, and that told us, hey, this is the value of our product, right? So that's feedback. So the way you understand what's valuable to your people is putting out content, you know, making a hypothesis on, hey, here's what I think this is worth, and then, you know, using content and other ways like that to put it out there, and then your audience will tell you if it's valuable or not,
That's
right?
the market. That's the market, right?
Here's the thing though, in real estate, we adjust based on what happens, right? Based on what the market tells us. I think a lot of times agents, investors, business owners, we don't adjust to what the market tells us, right? We post a video, we do social media, and our views are low, our engagement's low, and we're like, it's blame Instagram, blame Facebook. And it's like, okay, well, have you adjusted how you do things? Like, have you made an investment to improve? Have you made an investment to find ways that you can add more value to your content or to your product or how you serve your clients, right? Because that's what you would do if you showed a house and the buyers came back and said, hey, we want, you know, the lot's too small or the house has the X, Y, and Z, and then you go and try to make adjustments based off of that, right? So that's how I want people to think about value is like, think about what's valuable to the people you're serving. And if you don't know who you're serving, if you're just like, yo, anybody,
Yeah, everybody.
then you can't target exactly what you want to say and what's going to be valuable to that group of people.
Yeah.
What have you found valuable in your content, right? So we've been working on some strategy, some content for you. What have you found, the feedback you've gotten from your audience as far as what they think is valuable?
And that's important because I think all of me is valuable, right?
Right.
But then when I put it out on Instagram, the market tells me what they really want to like by the engagement and the content or whatever. So the other day I was kind of strolling through a couple of things that we did. Value, and for what I say as far as the context of the reels that we've done, it's been me talking about a community. You know what I mean? When we talked about Edo,
Right.
that was good. You know what I mean? When we talked to the brewery, that was good. When we talked to the gripper, that was good. People love that. That's what was engaging. You know what I mean? So I'll go and I'll talk on my investment stuff because in my heart, that's what I believe my value is.
Right.
But unfortunately, right now, the market is not reading that as value. You know what I mean? So I think it's important for me to kind of somewhat lean into that. So I can start open the doors of the algorithm.
Yeah.
And then kick my foot in and say, wow, I'm a lord of the land.
I love that.
You know
Yeah,
what I
because it's the balance of who your current audience is,
Yeah.
right? What they value, and then who you want to attract,
Yeah.
right? And so sometimes there's kind of a dance you got to play where like, hey, I need to serve my current people.
Yeah.
And that opens up, the algorithm, right? Or that opens up more opportunities for people to share your content and more people to start finding out about you.
I also notice a lot of people that kind of say, man, I've noticed what you've been doing. You know what I mean? They may not be hitting the like button or sharing my stuff, but they're like, I see you, man. I see you. You're doing a great job. So I know in my heart, if they're seeing me, then the other eyes that I don't know are seeing me as well. So to me, that brought along a lot of value as well for me. So I appreciate that, expanding my reach and my visibility. You know what I mean? So that's what that did for me. So.
Yeah. So, AK, there's another buzzword we got to talk about.
Another one?
Yep.
How many buzzwords we got?
There's a lot of them out here. But in this video, we're going to talk about content.
Okay.
Everyone says content, right? I need more content, right? Like, what does that actually mean, right? So in context of us working with you, that was short form reels for YouTube, Instagram, right? Facebook. Why was that worth the investment to you to kind of elevate the way and how you were doing your content beyond like what you could do on your own?
Well, what can I do on my own? That wasn't a lot, but as becoming a mature business owner, I realized that, I've always known I got to invest in me as far as training and things like that, but I also got to invest in those non-tangible things, you know what I mean? Like hiring you to help me get to that next level, So to me, I like the fact that I got evergreen content out there now. So I got content that's always going to be on the internet. This podcast going to always be on the internet. Anytime I pull up AK. By the way, it's I'm the only AK in Houston.
Wow.
MLS.
Dang, look at that. Branding, man.
But with that, it brought visibility. You know what I mean? Now I speak upon that. Now people going to go look that up and see if that's true. So now I get more engagement online, which means better SEO performance.
Yeah, brand awareness.
Brand awareness. My brand, you know what I mean? Everybody know me for Mr. Get Your Keys. I manifest that shit. You know what I mean? Now I got a
Equity
new one.
mindset.
Equity mindset. I got a new one. Lord of the
Land. That's a new one.
Yeah,
okay.
'cause I'm a
Bro, you selling these shirts or what?
Not yet, but it comes soon. But the reach and that exposure, also the education. Now people are starting to see that, all right, well, AK don't just drink beer, or AK just don't make shirts. AK knows what's going on in Edo.
Right.
AK knows what's going on in Pearland, all up and down the 288 corridor. You know what I mean? And so with my content about investment, all right, well, AK knows a little bit about investment. I'm truly not where I want to be or where some of these other gurus are, but I know enough to pull somebody up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I like.
Yeah.
And just being a specialist. Now they can say, all right, well, AK does this.
Right.
When I know I have some extra money or whatever, I want to start investing, I go holler at AK. If I know I want to go move down 288 corridor, call AK. You know what I mean? I want a good craft beer, what you do?
Call AK. Yeah.
So yeah,
I love that. And I think what we did with your content strategy is we leaned into who and what you know.
Yes.
Right. And I think a lot of real estate agents they're promoting housing products.
Yes.
Right. You look on their Instagram, they're doing these great videos where they're showing off great properties. Right. But that doesn't allow me to build trust with you.
Yes.
Right. And if you've actually done a real estate transaction, once we get started, what matters is what that agent knows.
Yeah.
and who they know that can help this transaction go smoother. So if you're not able to communicate that value, you're leaving money on the table because somebody might be attracted to you because of, you look great, you have great clothes and great branding and your videos look good. But if you're not sharing the value that you have based on what your audience needs, I think you're missing an opportunity. And so I think we showed a lot of the people who right? And I'm like, dang, AK knows a lot of people, right? Which that's gonna come in clutch when your clients or your friends need stuff. You're like, hey, I got a guy. I can call Johnny Lee, you know what I mean? I can call Miss, Ewald. There's people that you can call. And so we also got to lean into what so that people have context and can build trust with you so that, hey, when it's hitting the fan, you got them.
And I think that's the key to being an agent. A lot of people don't understand that. Like you said, a lot of people go in there, they pretty, they showing off the house. A house will sell itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what really matters when you deep down in the trenches of a transaction, it dead in the middle of negotiation, and you about to pull your hair out, and somebody come through and be cool and collective and can talk you through that you have trust in, because I built that trust through that content, right? So now I can sleep at night, I wake up in the morning and my deal will go through, or I got a solid offer that's something competitive, what I mean? If I'm just out here dancing in front of a house, who says that I know how to put in a solid offer that's gonna get accepted? You know what I mean? So that's why I want to show with my knowledge. You know what I mean? So
I like what you mentioned about the house sell itself.
It does.
I mean, the product is either going to be there or it's not. You either can afford the house, or you can't afford the house. The house is either available or it's not available. So if you're a real estate agent and your only value is that you can give somebody access to a home, your business is always going to do this because the market's going to impact the ability for there to be inventory, the ability for it to be affordability. So your business model has to be based on your expertise and what you know. And I think a lot of agents aren't leaning into that when it comes to their marketing. And so I think that's sometimes why they're not seeing the effectiveness of their marketing. I would say also going past and really understanding your consumer beyond the affordability piece, because right now that is a huge thing in the market, is people being able to afford homes. I think understanding what is the next level of why can't they afford homes, or what are the other problems that are happening that are beyond just the traditional person trying to buy a house, right? There's different problems happening, right? Airship problem, foreclosures. How can you navigate those type of processes?
And I would say real estate, you got to eat, live, and breathe this all day long. You know what I mean? It's not nothing you can go 9 to 5 and cut it off, because it's a steady evolving monster. It's a steady evolving industry, right? So when I go down and lay down at night, you know what I mean, I want to look at a little bit market stuff. I want to see where the market going. I want to see what's the next hot place in Houston, because I want to be able to put that client over there before it gets hot. You know what I mean? While he still can afford it, because later he ain't gonna be able to afford it. You know what I mean? So let's do it. Let's do it now. Let's do it the right way. Let's do it educational, and look at the market trends and see what that tells us.
So, all right, AK. So we've talked about strategy. So people should watch this video. You should know what strategy is right now. You should know value, and you should know content. Anything else that you want to kind of let your people know is from your clients, consumers, other agents? What's important for people to know right now?
I would say it's important. We're coming through a different time in real estate. A little uncertainty. Everybody believe it's a recession coming, believe it's not a recession coming. I would say educate yourself. Educate yourself, find a smart realtor like myself. I am the best realtor out there, but I'm not the only best realtor out there. There's other people out there. So make sure you get yourself with somebody that knows what's going on, because a lot of people will sell you into this brand new community over here that's up and coming and everything, and won't tell you next year and 2 years that the tax is gonna raise up and you ain't gonna be able to afford that house. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people in those situations. A lot of people bought those houses 2 or 3 years ago with the low interest rate. Now they wishing they ain't bought it, you know what I mean? Because now times are turning. And if you want to know why, ask somebody why. Don't let's just sit back and do it. And as far as investing, go out and find you something now. Go out and find you something. You owe it to your kids, you owe it to your family, you owe it to everybody to start getting right and living better. And just the way to do it, I think it's one of the best ways to do it.
So, all right, cool, man. Thanks for coming out.
All right.
All right, so where can people find you at? Where you at?
Find me anywhere. Like I say, I'm the only AK and HAR and MLS out here, so easy. Just type in AK. You can find me on Google Maps at AKB Realty Group, and over here in Edo. You can find me on Facebook at AK Babers, or you can find me on Instagram at AK Will Sell It. That's where you can find me at. So my number is 281-387-0113. So let's go get these keys, y'all.